Hello friends, and welcome back to our little coffee club. Well, I have the whole ambiance going, and hopefully I will get your morning started off right. I'm glad that you are here to hang out with me for a few minutes. And, share your time with me is very important. Your time is important to me, and I highly, highly appreciate it. But this morning, and by the way, this is an average morning for me. This is a work day. As a matter of fact, I'm already dressed for work. It is right now 6:15 in the morning. My wife left about maybe 30 minutes ago. She left to work. She starts earlier than I do. And now that I have the Flair 58, I do have new possibilities, let's say. Before, you guys know that espresso for me, it was more of a weekend thing. I did not want to take the time to wait for my espresso machine to warm up. And that's not the main thing that held me back from making espresso in the mornings, but it was more of the cleanup and the whole process after you're done. I don't want to leave my machine dirty and head out to work. And cleaning it and leaving it spotless, it's time consuming, and I don't want to take the time to do that in the mornings or go through that hassle. I usually make filter coffee. You see my kettle off to the left here. I already, as a matter of fact, when I first got up, I've been up for an hour and a half, so more than that. And I already made filter coffee and had coffee earlier this morning, but I'm gonna have a shot of espresso on the Flair. Now that has opened up the possibilities to that. Because the Flair, I'm not so worried about it. You just give it a quick wipe, and I could just leave it there if I want to and go off to work. You just give it a quick rinse, a quick wipe, you're done. And if it's not spotless, it doesn't matter to me. My espresso machine is like a piece of art on my kitchen counter, and I want it to always look spotless, always look nice. So yeah, so that's the reason why I pretty much never made espresso on regular weekdays when I'm going to work. But the Flair has opened up this new possibility for me, and today I'm gonna have a shot of espresso from the Flair 58. I have the electronics up here because I wanna show you guys a few things. Today we're gonna do a couple of things different that I want you to see. First of all, guys, we do have a few fans of dark roast coffee here on the channel. Okay, everybody doesn't like the same things. Everybody doesn't only drink light roast and acidity forward coffees and like floral qualities and fruitiness. A lot of people are not into that. They just want the regular classic roast profile, the regular tasting notes that you have found in coffee since the beginning. I imagine, more like dark chocolate, caramel, burnt sugar, molasses, those type of flavors, and it's what I like for milk drinks, by the way. It's my preference for mixing with milk, but for straight shots, and I can have either way. I can have a classic, but I love the new school. I love the acidity. I love the florality and all of those kind of qualities in the new school of thought. Definitely for filter coffee, I like light roast. But for espresso, kind of could go either way. For milk drinks, I prefer the darker stuff, and that's why I always have dark roast on hand. And for straight shots, I kind of prefer a little bit the new school, okay? So that's where I'm at. Now, we do have a lot of fans of dark roast, and today I'm gonna pull a shot of dark roast. I said previously that I wanted to pull some dark roast on the Flair. I still haven't done that. Very first shot, I'm gonna pull dark roast on the Flair. I wanted to show you the electronics because yes, this thing is kind of big, but it doesn't matter. Usually it's off to the side or on the floor or something like that. You don't even see it. When I have this set up on the other counter, the way we usually always use it, this is on the floor, and there's an extension cord that runs to the wall, and everything's out of the way, and this is even hanging down. You don't see it. So today I wanted to show it to you. Somebody had asked me, do you have the controller with the 3 steps? The low, medium, and high temperatures. And I do. This is what it looks like. This plugs into the back of the Flair, and then this plugs in to this, and then this goes to the wall, and that's the setup, right? So I wanted to show you all of this. I hadn't shown it yet. I want to pull a shot of dark roast. I still haven't done that. The machine is off and cold because for dark roast, I mean, this doesn't have to be super hot. And I want you guys to see in real time, which by the way, this video is gonna be unedited. It's just one take, one go. Hopefully everything works out and comes out okay here. If I misspeak or say something wrong, please help me by using a little bit of your imagination as to what it is that I really meant to say, because, you know, obviously I can make mistakes. Okay, one thing is I'm gonna start getting the kettle. Look, I remembered, I'm getting better at this. I remembered. Obviously for the Flair 58, you need a kettle. Okay, so you're gonna need a kettle, and if you wanna steam milk, you need some kind of steamer. Okay, there are some steamers that you can put on your stove and, you know, to steam milk, or you can just use a frother, or you can just not even steam the milk. A lot of times I'll just put the milk in the microwave, get it hot, add my, you know, when I do mocha pot, that's what I do. I just add the coffee from the mocha pot and that's it, and call it a day. I mean, it's fine. You know, yes, steaming the milk and the texture and mouthfeel of it, of course is better. Of course is better. Okay, a properly pulled shot of espresso with beautifully frothed milk and, you know, beautiful texture, that's the best way to go. So, but, you know, it doesn't have to be, okay? There are other ways of doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna plug this in. Let's do that. I want you guys to see in real time how long it takes for the machine to get hot. I think it's like 7 minutes. I've never timed it, but I wanna say it's maybe a little bit more than 5 minutes, at least to go to the high temperature. Now, that being said, one of you guys told me that you almost never use high temperature. I'm not sure if you're doing light roast, but for light roast, I definitely recommend get everything hot, you know? So as a matter of fact, everything's not gonna get hot, really hot, until like an hour goes by. I would say minimum 30 minutes for light roast, okay? So, but for something darker, I imagine as soon as this beeps, which it does give you a beep, you're ready to pull the shot, and it's gonna be fine with something dark. It's gonna be perfect. As a matter of fact, it's probably gonna be better because you don't want this thing super hot and this is easily over extracted, okay? A light roast coffee, a lot of times it's just really hard to over extract, okay? You're better off pushing it to extract a lot than not pushing it and extract a little, and then you end up with an acid bomb. Unless that's what you like. Some people really like that. Really high acidity, high brightness on the light roast coffees. You know, I'm not one of those. I want something very well balanced and get it as sweet as possible. Anyway, that's just me. To each their own. Like I said, hey, it's your coffee, make it your way. Don't listen to me, I'm just some dude. All right, let me plug this in. Okay, I got that back there. Like I said, today I'm not wearing my usual barista uniform. I have my work clothes on already. Let me get this back here somehow. Again, this whole part of it is just easier, you know, on the other counter, and I have more room. But being that today is just one take, one go, I think this is gonna work better, and whatever, it works just fine for me. It's not that uncomfortable. So, okay, now we plug this into the machine. You know, I think that before, when the Flair first came out, there was a way of plugging everything in for some reason, like plug this in before that, and like, you know, I don't know. But I believe that that's not a thing anymore because it's not even mentioned in the manual, okay? It just, you know, you just plug it in, I guess, however. But okay, now I have that plugged into the wall. I have this part plugged into the back of the chamber that heats the water. And now I plug the two together like so. It makes a little beep that the connection has been made and everything. Let me see how that looks for you guys. How does that look for you guys? And I see that I have you like way back here. Should I? Well, for now, let's roll with this. But I don't like the way the cable looks. It looks messy and not so nice. Let's see if we can tuck this in back here. Can we do that? By the way, guys, the candles are not real if you've never, I mean, I imagine everyone knows that. The candles are LEDs. It's not like I'm gonna get electrocuted or start a fire or something with these. The little lamps, by the way, they obviously I imagine everybody that's watching me, they know that the little lamps are real. Okay, that is real fire. I do run a high danger kind of situation in my kitchen. Who was it? I think it was Jason that told me, oh no man, you're running a lot more likelihood of starting a fire with, oh that's right. He was talking about the time I made the cocktail, and he wanted me to like squeeze the mist from the orange peel and burn it because it'll catch fire. It looks really pretty. And I said, well, I don't want to burn my kitchen down. He said, oh, you're running a lot more risk with all the other stuff that you have going on. For you, that was, even for me, that I remember the conversation, but that was already like months ago. All right. Oh, by the way, by the time you see this video, it's like almost, we're getting close to Halloween and fall and all of that. Yeah, pretty cool. So the pumpkins will be out soon. Be on the lookout. The pumpkins, they'll be out soon. Okay, what are we looking like now? Okay, I've been recording 11 minutes. I'm doing good. Okay, that looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, nicer. All right, let me, by the way, because you gotta press this thing to get it started. If not, it's not heating up, by the way. So let me show you. Let me see if I can show you with one hand here. Okay, you see this thing back there. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Let me get this out of the way because I don't want to drop this thing or something. Okay, I don't usually lock it hard because I don't want the gasket to be always having a lot of pressure on it. I think that's why people mess up their gaskets, because they're always like locking it really hard. I leave it kind of loose. Barely where it starts to catch, so that the gasket is not being compacted. Is that the right word I want to use? Yeah, maybe compacted like all the way, and it starts to damage the gasket over time from having it, hours and hours locked in all the time like that. So yeah, I kind of leave it loose. So I don't want to drop it. But you see there, you have to get it started. So you have to press it. If not, you're not even heating up, okay? So you press it, you get the first light, it's blinking. I think it goes solid once it's already hot. I'm gonna go to the second step. So there, and if you wanted to go to the third step, there it is. So that's full temperature. That's usually where I'm always leaving it because I'm always doing light roast. But today will be on the second step, right there. So it will beep once it's ready. And I just started it, so if you want to look at how long it takes, well, I just started it, so we'll see. But I imagine it's somewhere over 5 minutes, but not as many minutes as 10. I don't think it'll be 10 minutes. Let me pull this back and give you the same angle, pretty much. Lock it in. Okay, so you see the setup, you see the electronics. I hadn't showed them yet. Wow, from this angle, it looks like the flow control is right on top of the Flair, right here. It's on the Bianca, but from the angle, it looks like my Flair has flow control. Okay, which it does, right? But it's just it's just manual. Okay, so today we're gonna do a couple of other things. One thing is we're gonna switch out the basket. I'm gonna show you in a second why. This is the one that came with the Flair 58. This is the basket I've always used with my Bianca, okay? So you could see the Flair 58 is way more shallow. So the Bianca basket is for more coffee and it gives you extra room, okay? Now, this puck screen is very thin. You don't need a lot of room to drop this on top and lock in and all that. And it doesn't matter. There's no shower screen on the Flair. This is the shower screen. On the Bianca, there is a shower screen. The puck screen that I always use is a little bit thicker. I want the extra room, okay? So if that makes sense for you guys. So do you see it just beeped? That means I can pull my shot. Wow, I think that's even less than 5 minutes. That was really quick. Anyway, it's beeped, it's ready. Okay, today I'm gonna use the deeper one, the one from the Bianca. And I'm gonna show you in a second why. Okay, so I want the extra room. One of you guys left me a comment, and this person, the YouTube handle was like, I don't think it was a name. I think it was like a bunch of letters and numbers or something. It wasn't something that I could easily remember. If I keep seeing you on the comments, eventually or leave me your name. If you watch this video, leave me your name, and I keep seeing you, I get to know some of you guys. Okay, so, which is really my favorite part of making these videos, is making friends that have, we have this hobby in common. In my regular life, my day-to-day life, I know a bunch of people. Everybody likes coffee, but there's no coffee hobbyist in my life other than you guys. So thank you for being here. My sister has been watching all the videos. Shout out to Elaine, my sister. So yeah, my sister's been catching up on all the videos. She's still running. Like, by the time she sees this video, wow, it's been up for a year, because she's been watching them in order, all of them. By now I've made like 200 coffee videos. It's like a ton of them. So it's gonna take her a good couple years to catch up. I don't know. But regardless, by the time she sees this, it's been months and months that I made this video. But shout out to my sister. She's been catching up on all the videos, and she's kind of a coffee hobbyist. She doesn't take it as serious as I do with all these gadgets and all this stuff, but it's kind of I guess she's like the person that I could talk about coffee things with, technical stuff and things like that, because she kind of likes this stuff. Okay, anyway. So the reason is I want to have more room today, because the person left me a message as to using both puck screens like this. They do a little puck screen sandwich on top. It sounds like a good idea. I'm going to try it today. I'm going to do both. Some people have told me about paper. I don't like using paper. Yeah, you can. As a matter of fact, I have paper and I've never used it. If you use paper on the bottom and you use a single sheet, your shot's gonna pull faster. There's some benefits to that. I know that's counterintuitive. You would think it would go slower. You have another thing there. It is not what happens. People have done the test over and over. A lot of people have done the test. It goes faster. If you put 2 sheets, 3 sheets, it starts to slow down, okay, with enough sheets. But with one, it's gonna go faster. The technical reason for that, I don't know. I think it was Lance that talked about it. Whatever it is, it sounds counterintuitive, but it's what happens. One sheet goes faster, and it's a good tool if you want to kind of like high extraction. You have a high extraction basket. You can grind finer, get the same timing, right, by using the paper at the bottom. So it's a useful tool sometimes, okay? If you want to slow it down, well, then you could use 2-3 papers and use the same grind size instead of like grinding finer. Those are things you could play with. I've never played with a paper. But people have told me about using paper on top, actually. And on top, why would you do that if you have puck screens? You just wouldn't. I mean, there's just no reason to do that. All right. Enough about that. Let's lock in. Of course, this is cold today, and it doesn't matter to me. Here's another thing I already explained before. But in the beginning, I thought you had to start from here and lift this up, which would make the water drop. But you don't. I already explained. You can start from here, get it into place like this, and then lock in, and you're fine. You don't need to lift this. So the water won't drop if you have water in it already, which I don't. Oh, another thing the person told me, and today I'm gonna try to remember, is to start the shot with this up. Not all the way up. If you go all the way up, I think they told me that the water won't drop in, or I don't know. They said to kind of leave it like loose like this and add the water. And you'll be automatically like topping off. There won't be any air bubbles or anything like that. And then you can pull your shot and your workflow goes a little bit smoother and faster. That sounds like another good idea. So I'm gonna implement that as well today. I'm gonna do both of these things. Okay, what else do we need to cover? I think that brings you up to speed, right? Here's another thing. Today I could use the automatic espresso function. So last time I was talking about the scales. I'm gonna show you today. Okay, so let me see. So here you see it. Right now, there's no automatic functions on. It just has for you to time your shot and weigh your shot, but you would have to start it yourself. So you can start the time like that, and it will weigh it. And if you want to tear it, you have to tear it yourself. So you can stop it. You can reset it, but wait. There, you can reset it. If you hold it, you saw that little thing come on. That's because I held it. If you hold it, you start toggling through the different modes. This mode, I don't remember what that mode is. Press it again, hold it. That mode is the automatic espresso function. You get the little drop and you get the little, whatever little dot is. So when you have these two on, that's the automatic espresso function. And it's that easy. You just hold it. Last time I went on a rant talking about the Time More Black Mirror Nano, my other little coffee scale, which to change the modes, you have to tap 5 times on one of the buttons. That was so annoying that I just ended up buying another scale. And the Acaia I ended up buying because I really wanted to know, is it that much better? And I gotta say, it is, okay? Other than the look, I actually like the way the Time More looks better. And it's, you know, you're not missing out on a lot. But, you know, if I were to say that this one is not better, I'd be lying. Another thing is that the Time More doesn't fit on here by the slightest of margins, but it doesn't fit on here. The Acaia does. Some people are using the new Buku. The new Buku fits. Somebody confirmed that. One of you guys told me the Buku, you've been using the Buku and it fits perfect. A lot of people like the Buku scale. It's awesome. I've never tried it. I don't have any experience with it, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I think it's spelled Bookoo. Put that coffee scale and you should see it on Google. I've shown it on the channel here before because one time we talked about scales. You guys wanted me to recommend a scale and I talked about that one. And I talked about the one from, I believe it was 3H Bomber, which makes a nice, really nice scale at a very reasonable price. Or get one, you know, get the Time More, which I really like. Or just go all out, get the Acaia. Okay. But you know what? The Buku, I believe in some ways, that people say it's better than the Acaia. So, but I just don't know. I don't have it. Okay. Okay, let me set up. Should I give you, well, we have to first, let's dose. Let's dose. Let me see the scale. It's a little bit close. It's a little bit close, but it works. I think you'll be able to see the numbers there. I'm gonna use the niche grinder, which I always use for espresso. I'm at 12 and a half clicks. 12 and a half is what worked for this coffee. For the Bianca, I've never pulled dark roast on the Flair. But what I've noticed is that the grind size works the same. I mean, it's a 58 millimeter portafilter. So from the beginning, intuition told me it should just be the same. But I have heard already a few times people talking about grinding finer for the Flair 58. And in my experience, that's not the case at all. I haven't seen that. You just grind the same. Okay, let me get this opened up, which by the way, my intention was to put it into one of my Atmos canisters, but they're being used. I have a lot of specialty coffee right now on hand. And yeah, so I had to close this up the way you guys saw. Okay, we're gonna dose the 18 grams. Okay, I went a little over. You guys saw this dark roast last time. The beans are a little bit oily and it is quite dark. As a matter of fact, and again, thank you to Ed. Shout out to Ed. Thank you, Ed, for getting me this coffee. I appreciate it, buddy. If I would have had this, I would have never have gotten that Nicoletti experience. Although the Nicoletti is now legendary here on the channel, right? It's become, I think some people ordered it just to know exactly how bad it is. I said, hey, I'm warning you, don't get it. But they insisted, they want to know. So I actually got Nicoletti some sales. Not even trying. But all right, so we got our 18 grams. This is the flavor profile of this coffee is a lot better than the Nicoletti. And you know, I do have to admit, the one Anna gave me, let me bring it out. This one, which you've already seen on the channel, I've pulled some shots with this on the videos. This tastes even better than this one. So the taste profile from this, it does have kind of like a little cherry flavor, fruitiness, tartness up front, which is, to me, is more interesting and more pleasant. I like the taste profile of this one actually, but even better than the Dominican one. This is noticeably darker still than this one. This is already dark. This is darker. Okay. All right, let's grind the coffee. How long is this video already? 24 minutes. Okay, we gotta get this thing going. I got my 18 grams. I don't want this to time out. Okay, now that it's sitting, yeah, this thing is quite oily. Let me show you up here. But there you see it. I hope it's focused. You see it there. It's quite dark and a little bit oily. Grind size, again, we are at 12 and a half. All right, here we go. So you guys see the little setup today and the little ambience we got going. Just trying to get your morning started right. You know, these coffee videos, the whole point is just to hang out with you guys, or you guys hang out with me for a little while, and to share our hobby together, and kind of get your morning started with something simple and not, you know, let's not get into the heavy stuff just yet. Let's not worry so much about everything, and let's just make some coffee, right? We're not trying to save the whales just yet. 17.8, we have a little bit of retention. Should I do bellows? 0.2, I'm not gonna worry about it today. 0.2, yeah, okay. I will. Usually 0.2, 0.3, I don't care, but whatever. Let's do little bellows. We'll see. Give another little tap to the spout. Let's see if we went up to the 18. 17.9, we regained a little bit. All right, we're gonna roll with this. Put this off to the side. Start by fluffing this up, as I usually do. Okay. Get this out of here. Okay, and okay, no mess, no stress today. Perfect. Let's do some WDT. Yeah, we got to get this going. Yeah, having the Flair opens up the door to, you know, being able to do espresso in the morning. I don't care so much if it's not spotless. You know, I can just even leave it up here, put it away after I get back from work. Also, by the way, opens up the possibilities to water chemistry, you know, because there is no boiler. You can use any kind of water here and not worry about it so much. You know, some people have talked about keeping it clean and all of that. What is there to get dirty here? Like, I don't even get it. I don't, you know, there's nothing to get dirty. You give it a rinse at the end, and it's, to me, it looks spotless. There's nothing inside. It just looks perfect. You've seen from the bottom, every time we pull shots, right? I give you the bottom angle. It looks like brand new, like spotless. I pulled a bunch of shots already. I don't see anything getting dirty. So I think some folks are overcomplicating the situation, like with the Flair. There's nothing to break here, to go wrong, or just one of the beauties of it, you know, plus the whole romantic aspect of the whole manual process. There's something about it. I keep saying that. There's something about it. Which, by the way, you know, I was thinking just before I started, I'm playing the music off in the background. Maybe you guys could hear it. At times, I'm sure when I'm being quiet, you could hear it. I mentioned last time that I had to remove Richie Everett, my favorite creator, that it's available on the program that I use is called Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a license that you pay for so that you can use their content on YouTube videos, Instagram, or whatever you want, okay? You're paying to be able to use it. From all the artists that play this type of music, like jazz type of music that it's very appropriate for this kind of video, right? It's usually what I'm playing. Very relaxing, nice, like something you would see in a coffee shop. So this gentleman, Richie Everett, when I discovered him, I saw he was next level. I go, this is the best guy doing this type of music on this platform, okay? The best one available. I recognized it immediately. This guy's special. I downloaded a bunch of his songs. He's the best one. And obviously, he's very well known, I guess, because he's the one that keeps giving me trouble, that it keeps getting blocked. For some reason, okay, when I play the music off in the background, it's different than if I embed the music on the video. When I embed Richie's music on the videos, I have no problem. When I play him off in the background, I keep running into issues here on YouTube. So, you know, I had to, Richie, come on, man, get that fixed. I had to remove you out of the playlist. You know, you guys should look him up, Richie Everett. My favorite song so far is called Emily. Emily. I always play it on the videos because it's awesome. I really, really like that song. All right. You know, it's not like I can play Chuck Mangione or Miles Davis or, you know, any of the more known artists. And for all I know, maybe he's very well known. Maybe I didn't know him, but maybe a lot of people do. I don't know. Okay. You know, I love music. I don't talk about music a whole bunch here on the channel because I can't play regular music, but I've had a little bit of conversation with you guys about music and analog music, playing vinyl records or even cassette tapes at times. It has its own romantic aspect to it. But okay, so you can still see my temp. Yeah, you can see my temp there. Anyway, today I'm driving the Tesla. You guys know how. But man, it sure does make it easy and it keeps it consistent. So it's just, you get a perfect temp every time, you know. You can't fault me for using the tools I have been given. Okay, here you go. All right. So I'm gonna drop the Flair puck screen, which is that thin little thing that is just like a shower screen. It acts as the shower screen because there is no shower screen inside the Flair. And then I'm gonna drop this one on top and look at all the room I have. This is perfect. It's right to the line where it normally is when I use the Bianca. So, okay, so that's the difference. We're gonna try this today. Again, this is, yeah, somewhat warm. Just a little bit, not much. This by now, yeah, this is really hot. This is, it's only on the number 2, but it's hot. Okay, we lock in. And first shot of dark roast here on the channel. And I've been recording for 32 minutes. I imagine we'll be done in a few minutes here. Hang in there with me. What else? Automatic espresso function is on. I'm gonna try to lift this up and do this thing. Did I start the kettle? It turned off. Yeah, it timed out. It turned off. Okay, the water's kind of hot. It'll be up to temperature quick. Bear with me. That always happens, right? Today I remembered I turned it on and it got cold on me. I think it's at 80 right now. I have to always refocus because the focus is locked and then I move the phone. So there you see it. We're almost up to temperature. Anyway, I've been giving you guys this these Friday videos, giving you some content for Fridays. And I'm enjoying this a whole bunch. Easy to make these videos. So right now the time is 6:49. I'll be done here maybe in 10 minutes and then brush my teeth, get ready and head out to work. Okay. Are we up to temperature? We are up to temperature. You know what? I didn't even need this hot of a water today, probably, but it's at 97. Let me see if I can get a little bit of the bottom of like a better angle. Move the glass, move this. Try to give you guys a better angle. I don't know, maybe from here. Let me refocus. Okay, I locked the focus. I think from there is pretty nice. Yeah, let's see what happens with this. Okay, so I'm supposed to start with this up. So and not all the way up, they said. So just barely before it goes all the way up. Okay, start this. Come on, Akaya. There we go. Okay, can you guys see the numbers on the Akaya? Not really. So I'll have to tell you what the timing is. But again, I'm shooting for my usual 45 grams out. So 18 grams in, 45 grams out, a 1 to 2.5 ratio. It's usually what I like. Okay, automatic espresso function. So meaning that when I put this up here, it will tare by itself. And then it's gonna weigh and time my shot by itself. I don't have to do anything. Let's see if this workflow goes a little bit faster. So as soon as I start putting water now, it is going to hit the puck right away. So in essence, our shot is kind of starting, right? So you guys can be the judge of how long it took me, but we'll see. So, okay, so I just started pouring. So roughly, you guys can kind of determine the timing, I guess, total time. Okay, I got this all the way up. They told me that you're not gonna have bubbles or anything, just go for it. So here we go. Okay, I'm at like at 3 bar, 4, so I wanna go slow, 5, I'm at 6 bar, maybe I'll keep it around here. I'm in the red zone now, 6, maybe 7 bar shot on the Flair. Again, 45 grams out. Yeah, I'm at 7 bar, keeping it pretty steady. Very nice pool. Wow, I'm really happy with this. I think I did a great job today. It's maybe my best one. Okay, so at 45, okay, 45.8. Wow, I almost nailed it. Well, this is maybe the best shot I've ever pulled. This went picture perfect. And now all I gotta remember is to remove all this stuff out of the way, because it's gonna perhaps keep dripping like it happened to me before. And put this in here. Wow, no mess, no anything. Now I pull through, get the excess water out. At the end, you're gonna end up with a nice dry puck. Did I block the camera when I was pulling the shot? Maybe not. I think I was good. Yeah, I see my hand was blocking somewhat, but you should have still been able to see around me. So you just leave it like that. Right now it's being held up because there's air. There's air in the chamber, but that air is gonna dissipate. This is gonna go down. You're gonna end up with a really nice dry puck at the end. I showed that already I think on the first video, or maybe on the second video that I did on the Flair, I showed that. You end up with a really nice dry puck. We inspected the puck. I should do that more often on the channel, but let's give it a stir. Although, by the way, these little glasses are designed, they have some little winglets inside so that when you swirl it, it stirs up your shot. You don't really need to use a spoon. I never used to use a spoon, but now that Anna gave me these spoons, I use them all the time. It's probably better. It's probably best case, best practice. Okay, I don't think I had any channeling. I don't see anything. There was a little splash here. I dried it up. But you could tell it wasn't from like a squirt of coffee. I think it was really clean, perfect pour. I'm really happy with the result. Let's lock the focus here on the cup. Right there. And I think we're gonna finish off in this angle here. Wow, you know, look at how like the nice lighting looks, and it's just relaxing. What a way to start your morning. I mean, making coffee and relaxing, little music, nice ambiance. It's just a perfect way. Cheers. Okay, as far as flavor, you know, you have that classic dark roast profile. You know, it gives you the dark chocolate. Let me taste it again. It's quite intense. I mean, you see 45 grams out, but it's still, you know, it's it's intense. It's nice and gooey. It's really, the texture of the shot is perfect. It's really nice. And again, the niche zero doesn't disappoint with that. Yeah, mixing this with milk would be next level. I'm not going to do that this morning because I'm getting ready to get out of here. But okay, this, we still have air trapped in here. Let's see. You saw it. You saw the little pop. That was the pressure that was still in the chamber releasing. So now there's no pressure. Get this out. You end up really nice dry puck, no dripping, nothing. And just as I said that, it got one drip. One drip. It's like foam that came out. And I see I have another little drip. Okay, so don't do that. You could potentially still have a little bit of drippage. Okay, so now once you're done with that, and we're almost done with the video, by the way, guys. Let me have another sip. This has ended up really nice. Beautiful. Let me lock the focus a little bit farther back so you could see what I'm doing back here. See? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with this look. Okay, because what I want to show you is what you need to do here at the end. I can stop the kettle. But basically, you're going to add water. You know what? I can turn off all the electronics now. Let me see. I can just... They said off? I don't know. I never... you know what? I never... Let me see. Do I hold it to turn it off? Yeah, you hold it down and all the lights turned off. Can you see that back there? Yeah, all the lights turned off. I never do that. I just unplug it. You know, I just start unplugging things. So I think the way I always do it, I unplug this one, then I unplug it from the machine, because I always, when I put it away, I put the electronics away in a different spot than the machine itself. So I remove always all the wiring. So I can take that off. I can take this off, put this off to the side. By the way, this doesn't even get hot. It's not even this charger thing. It doesn't, it looks like a laptop charger. It doesn't even get hot. It's barely a little bit warm. Okay, so, all right, back to this. Let me see, can you guys see? Let me bring you back a little bit, because I don't think you could see well. Let's lock back in. Okay, let's lock back in. Okay, we're gonna finish from here. So now what you wanna do is add water. Just wanted to get all the electronics out of the way. You don't have to, but. Okay, you see there's nothing coming out. This is a perfect example, right? The water's already at the top, not a single drip, nothing comes out. We see, it's all the way up. Yeah, it's all the way up to the top. There's nothing coming out. So when this is down, nothing comes out. As soon as I lift it a little bit, there it goes. You see a drop. Okay, so that's it. You give it a rinse like that. You can do it a couple times. I don't even see the need for a couple times, but whatever. We'll do 2. I think I always do 2. All the way up. You see it drop. Okay, go all the way up, all the way down. Shake it around because water sometimes is on top of the metal parts there, whatever. And just let it drip for a couple seconds. Now I can give it a quick wipe and leave it here and be done. Okay, so this is so easy. It has opened the door up for me making espresso or Americanos in the morning, you know. All right, nice shot, traditional. What you can expect from a dark roast like this. Perfectly well suited to mix with milk. And again, some people they want the dark roast. They want the traditional flavor. So that's what this is. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch. The video ended up being just under 45 minutes. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys a whole bunch. My coffee family here on YouTube. Drop in, say hello. I answer everyone. So drop in, say hi. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the next one. This is going to be a Friday video. So happy weekend to everyone. You guys have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys on Sunday.